these players are from teams who are in the top two of their groups. Truerippers is the only team who's not in the top two. They are in the top four, they are in the green zone, but Paradox is one of the only people whose team is not up there. So that just tells you how brilliant of an individual he is. And while the team itself is young, the amount of raw muscle that these guys have is ridiculous. It's not even funny how good these guys are individually. And I just think that they are superstars in the making. You give them a little bit more time, you give them a little bit more time to practice, maybe scrim stronger opponents to scrim against, and these guys will definitely conquer the whole world and not just India. Let's take a look at who this player in the spotlight is going to be from Team Truerippers. I honestly don't know who deserves to be in the spotlight. Every single one of them is just as good. One Tap God has insane aim, so does Paradox. Players like Crosshair, they don't even need to aim. You have people walking into their crosshairs. But for now, our one main player that we will be looking out for is Bones. Now, Bones is the kind of player who does not play very often for the team. He sometimes subs out Master, sometimes subs out Crosshair, so it really depends on what kind of lineup they want to run, what kind of map selection they have in store for them. But every time Bones comes out, he also attracts quite a lot of attention towards himself. He doesn't have the best of KD, but since he is a sentinel, his job is not to frag out in the first place at all. His job is to just stall the attack of his opponents and sometimes just hold on to gather information. So that's one cool thing about Bones as well. He may or may not be in the playing fight today, but he does provide quite a lot of impact to the team. But now that we are moving closer to the match, let's take a look at which maps they will be playing on. And about the map, Veto, I was a little disappointed when I did not see Fracture over here.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, I was like, yes, today Truerippers is going to play. I'm going to get to cast some Fracture. I haven't casted a single game of Fracture yet, by the way, Universe. I'm
I
yet
know.
to
I
cast a
know.
map of Fracture. And I'm like, when will I get that chance? Not today, I guess.
Yeah, it'll soon come. It'll soon come. Just one fateful day where we're gonna see probably Troopers pick up that map, but it looks like Fracture was banned, and that's exactly why they went for Ascent. Even
Ah,
Ascent and Split. Well, there's no bind, so that throws in something. But we start off on Haven, which is one of Godparticles' better maps. They have a pretty good success rate over there, but not so much in the recent past. And Truerippers, honestly, I'm not quite sure if I'm convinced by their Haven performance either. So I'm gonna say that it's just depending on who exactly is gonna get that first half lead, and yeah, I don't know what's gonna transpire. I don't know if this is gonna be even a 2-0 or 2-1, but whatever it is, I just hope we get an entertaining game.
yeah, honestly, same. I don't think I can make any predictions today. I don't think I want to make predictions today. Both these teams, they are very close to my heart. I love them both to bits, and I've seen them grow. I want them to grow even more, and that's why I just want to enjoy this game today. I just want to see who wins. I don't want to predict. I'm not even rooting for any one of them. Most casters don't. We are not biased that way, but inside our heart of hearts, there is always a little inkling. We have a little sixth sense about who can win. Today, I don't even have that. Pure neutrality over here. Haven, Ascent, Split. I'm happy there's no bind, because bind, when both these teams start to play, it's like a little bit of a flank fest, and then that becomes a little bit of a difficult map to cast because of the immense amount of storylines and the immense amount of flanks that happen. Ascent, though, I'm still disappointed. Why does anyone want to play Ascent anymore? Doesn't anyone get bored of it? But Haven is good, so let's jump into that, ladies and gentlemen. We will be starting with the agent selection screen soon. I do believe we were about to go into it. There's a little bit of a delay because of some technicalities, so bear with us. But Haven, I think, is again starting to turn into a little bit of a neutral map. We used to say that Ascent is one of those buggish, brawly maps, but over the course of the last few weeks in Gauntlet, I've started to notice that even Haven is becoming one of those maps. Everyone's starting to get used to it. And this might be very controversial when I say this, but people are starting to treat Haven like they used to treat Inferno in CS.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of strats that they're using is very, very similar. Like back in Inferno, people used to take mid. I don't even know if any of you guys know what I'm talking about. Most people who are over here, I'm not sure if you guys have played CS:GO, but Inferno used to be one of those maps where whether or not you take mid control, you always take banana control, and over here banana becomes A long. So you can either
Yeah.
go A long or A short. You leave one player over there. As an attacker, you need to have at least some information or maybe some utility placed over there. Once you have that, you try to aggress towards mid, get some info in that part, and then go wherever you have already originally decided to go. So it's starting to turn into a little bit of an Inferno scene, and I'm starting to see the resemblance. But yeah, most people may or may not agree with me when I say this. So that's why I said it's controversial. You don't need to agree with me on this universe. You can have your own hot take. Speaking of hot takes, we have a KO potentially on one tap god. Okay, this could be nice.
Yeah, that I mean, if it comes up, that then maybe, but I don't think we're gonna see a KO. Paradox has locked in the Jet. We've got Relic on the Cypher. On the other side of things, it's pretty much gonna be routine for the side of Godparticles. Shivy on the Sova, Scargod on the Sky, Ember and Logista locking in that Astra and Cypher, and Nitro are gonna be the spearhead of the team. Uh, Crosshair looking to go for that raise. Nah, he's shifting over Sova. This is definitely going to be, Haven is definitely a one duelist map unless you want to take somebody like a Reyna or a Phoenix, but it's going to be the exact same lineup on both sides. All right, now this is going to be a part of what we will call a team diff or a composition diff that's going to be coming in, but I did not expect any surprises here and none given either, unless one tap god decides to go for that brim that he just teased, but yeah, this is probably going to be it.
Keep in mind Haven will be the first map, even though the overlay shows Ascent. Don't worry, Haven will be played first, and more or less the lineups are same. 2 initiators for both the teams, 1 controller, 1 sentinel, 1 duelist. So same lineups across the board. Now I want to see how they utilize it. Every time I've seen Truerippers play Haven, they always send one person up mid whenever they're on the attacking side. They used to at least keep Paradox towards the B entrance, have him deep inside enemy lines, ready to backstab, ready to flank.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's changed. And if it hasn't, how do Godparticles deal with it?
Well, we're going to have to wait and find out. They are a little strong on the attack, I want to say, Truerippers. They thrive on attack just because of the amount of, aggression that they show, especially keeping Paradox in the loop is something that they constantly push on. They let him be the man who they need to go and get spaces. They need to go and get kills. And they're going to be facing off these players of Godparticles who are on defense. And I really hope they have a game plan, because the thing about the side of Godparticles is that they have a disciplined game style, but it's also aggressive. It's like every player has some sort of a different game style to put in from the side of Godparticles, because we know Knight Rider is really aggressive. He's not afraid of anything. He's a player like Paradox, but the rest of his team has got this disciplined play that allows them to maybe take a little bit more, intellectual play as we start off with a pistol.
And right off the bat, they take Garage and mid control. The spike heading down on Garage on the back of the Sky, but Knight Rider has already pushed out of A lobby. Gets a kill onto one tap god. Still keen on staying here, not really keen on falling back. As a response to it, Logista picks up fights towards B. Both the sides on a 4v4, but all the sides that I just mentioned is not where the spike is going to go. The spike is going towards C, and that is all the difference that needs to be made over here. Very nice shot by Knight Rider, deleting Master. On the other side, Shivy makes sure that Paradox can't really hold anyone off at bay. A 1v2, very possible by Shivy because Relic is extremely low on HP.
Oh, that shock dart could have been the end of him, but he gets away from there, and Shivy, he's playing around in positions. He's expecting somebody at Garage. He jumps right straight down, but Relic finds him midair. That was a shot and a half. 10 HP he was on. Could have been a different story if he was taken down. But round number 1 goes to Truerippers as they back up a C site that almost went down for them, to be honest. There were trades that came in from the side of Godparticles, but they stabilized in the end, and the 2 players who were alive clutched it out. Now, with the full buy coming in, Godparticles, they've got a little bit, they don't really have to worry. It's still the first round, still going to be the second round. 2-3 rounds in the beginning are pretty much a-okay, even if you lose it. But after that's when you got to change it to the 6th gear.
Yeah. But, like I said, they will have one player down mid, right? That's what Logista was doing last round. this time instead of sending the Sky and the Spike down Garage, they have only sent Paradox in this area. And it's not like he wants to keep his position a secret. He's already given away the sound cues. Everyone knows that he is inside Garage. Where are the others? That's what Knight Rider wants to find out. He has a small inkling that they might already be down a shot. His teammates didn't find anyone on mid, so this could be the only place. But as soon as he finds out, he has his mouth shut. Even Paradox making havoc on the C side, keeping these guys at bay. He spots out 2 people on C. This definitely indicates that A will be clear.
Cage triggered.
They are taking the A side pretty easily, as you would expect. Truerippers have lost a player, but that's not gonna bother them at all. No flanks coming in, and nothing of that sort. The plant's gone down, and Godparticles. What are you trying to do this run? Are you looking to save? Because you just got one Spectre on the hands of Shivy. They're taking a real slow approach to this. I think they just want to go for exits and maybe that is a spike. But I don't think that's going to be overly far, given to them by the side of Truerippers, because they're looking to probably exit from their own side of the entrance of the site.
Yeah, no exit flashes. Maybe one flash and peek by Shivy. He's the only healthy player left, so can cause some damage. Will he be given that satisfaction? No, he won't. Alright, done and dusted. No problem. Go die to the spike so that you don't miss out on the loss bonus. And they will be having enough money to purchase weapons in the next round, whereas Truerippers will be on a bonus.
They most certainly will be. A good start for them. Not
Weapon
too much lost, but not too much that, has been a little... that's not been flashy either.
Yes.
It's just been a normal first 2 rounds, and now the side of Godparticles need to hit back. First round, that is a full buy for Godparticles, should prove to be a little bit more of a problem for Truerippers. And what is going to be their approach now is a question. It looks like they're going towards A, and you can see the Astro Stars being set up in a heavy manner. Ember, he's going for that aggressive peek. He might just find the first kill. Oh, he spotted Paradox. An easy kill. He was alone. Make that a second. But Crosshair with a trade. A Vandal to work with. But 2 players have been lost, and that's going to be a problem.
And one of them was Master. That recon dot can be extremely important to gather information. Crosshair at least still has his flashes, so he can use them as mini recon dots, maybe get some information out of it. But again, it's not as effective. You've spotted out 1 player on A. You don't have any information on B or C. And Truerippers are not going for their standard playstyle where they have 1 player by default on mid all the time. They don't have that just yet. So they're trying to split up. Let's see how it pans out for them. Astra outside of A, hoping for some over-aggression. Won't find anything. The others heading down to C. I'm actually surprised nobody from Godparticles is looking down the C-long corridor. You have Knight Rider present over there, but he's just hiding in that backside corner.
Oh, no.
The moment he peeks out, Crosshair equalizes it. Back to a 3v3. Scargod's flash has to be on point, and it is. But Killer, he's safe. Double peek will be possible if he swings around the corner. Almost caught the Sky off guard, and Relic finally with the 1 tap. The Guardian reveals things. Recon dot immediately destroyed, but they know where the other 2 players are. They don't know any information about the Astro, but they don't even need it. Crosshair, Relic all by themselves are enough for it.
Okay,
1 tap dot was not even needed in this round. Okay then.
I didn't understand one thing though. Shivy threw in the recon, right? And then he was looking to the right side of the box. Look at this. Okay, that recon clears out the right side of the box. Nobody's there, but he's still checking it for some reason. I don't know why. But he checked that angle.
Yeah, nerves, I guess.
Yeah, probably. But
happens.
Yeah, another round for Truerippers. They pull out the bonus on the back of Relic's Guardian. And Crosshair just fragging out with the Spectre. And here we go towards A yet again. Truerippers, a full buy for them. And an eco for the boys in blue and white. There's nothing much they can hope for in this run except for maybe 1 or 2 frags. Paradox, he's struggling to find one. He gets one finally. And his team's just rushing straight in. The A side was stacked with 3 players. 4 actually. Knight Rider's here as well. And there's nothing they're gonna find except for the 1 kill onto Master.
It was a 4-man stack on the A side, yet they only took 1 casualty in the process. Only Master died, and even that was because he got triple peaked. Wow. I'm surprised how Truerippers can hold on to their numbers. They make sure that the stack does not affect them. They don't lose any weapons. Almost negligible economic damage done, and they win a round for absolutely scot-free. 4-0, this is a good lead. And with most of their players staying alive in this round, they are starting to touch the sky-high numbers. They have 9,000 credits on 2 players.
Yep. A really great start for Truerippers. I thought that as soon as the first buy round comes in for Godparticles, it's probably going to change the tide. We're going to see 2-1, 2-2, 2-2, and, you know, consecutively we're going to find out what's happening. But Truerippers have not given away anything so far. They've clutched out rounds that they've had a disadvantage in as well. And now Knight Rider has an operator to try and put a stop to things.
Blinded.
Okay. Rather passive start from Truerippers. Just holding out of mid. Starting to creep up.
Master clearing out most of it. He does not spot the tripwire, I believe. Neither a player. He only sees that there's the Aldrin coming in from A-Link. So that should give him an idea. Knight Rider, he misses the shot. And he immediately reconvenes to another position. Gargot spots out 2 as one-tap God's making his way towards C-Long. They're a little hesitant about this. They kind of maybe expect Knight Rider to be here. And they are making him smoke all those avenues while the Seekers go out and find him information.
At least they paid out the shot from Knight Rider. He's still good for 1. The Cloudburst helps him out. Crosshair now looking to enter that Cloudburst and get the kill onto him. He is successful. Scar got exact revenge. But this seaside assault is already underway. Kills go through, but the spike is already down. Retake now will begin. Shivy leading the charge. Puts the pressure onto one-tap God. He doesn't have any stars left so that he can stop anyone from defusing. So he's gonna have to peek out of this nebula nonetheless. And this will be a very disastrous affair. Nah, he cannot do it. Finally, Godparticles able to put up a little bit of a defense. I was actually surprised none of the teams decided to venture towards the A side this time around. At least they will usually have one lurker or some information gathering tools available over there. Truerippers place their cameras near the A shot corridor, but other than that, nothing happened. And even then, even with no information towards A for either of these teams, somehow Godparticles were able to figure out that this will be a C hit in the end. 3 defenders were present on the site. And even Truerippers know that, but they did not care. They went in for the plant without clearing out the back of sight. They thought this would be good enough, and it was because most of the teammates were covering the spike planter, but that's what happens when you don't have the full control of the site. You will end up brawling out, and it's just gonna boil down to who has more players available on the site, who has more bodies to throw. Finally Godparticles able to put up 1, but let's see if they can keep up the momentum. This is an extremely important round. If Godparticles lose this round, their economy will be destroyed once again. If you win a round and then you lose the one immediately after that, your economy is down in the dumpster. Your loss bonus is negated, and everything that you worked so hard for will be down in the trash can. So they must win this round if Godparticles hope to continue their momentum.
Indeed, they move in towards A yet again, Truerippers. Paradox has already crawled in so much further, and that's going to give him an open A side, except for Shivy being on Heaven. If he catches him on a timing, that's going to be a free kill. But Paradox, he might just get spotted out as soon as their recon goes in. He's throwing it in deep. Oh, look at that.
Oh, what? So close, so close.
The Phantom 140 strikes yet again. And he's also been healed up.
Yeah, he's been healed up, so everything he worked for is kind of gone to waste. But hey, at least his positioning tells his team that none of the defenders are actually present on the A side. They're only playing from the defender entrance and heaven area. So if they can come in and plant, it's still a 4v5. And the only thing that could probably save Godparticles are the amount of ultimates they have. They have 4 very important ultimates. Hunter's Fury has not been committed yet. The Seekers have. Oh, they bite the attackers too. Crosshair has a cabbage on his head. Relic has been found out, but he pre-fires. Crosshair also peeks at the same time. The crossfire works, and they're trying to defend this one rather brilliantly. Woo! All their positions were revealed, but still they hold on. Great stuff by Team Truerippers. Relic and his free fires, Crosshair and the timing of his speaking, all of it was on point. The communication immaculate. Absolutely perfect from Truerippers. And then later on, the players from A-Shot also reveal their own positions. Step by step, they take it in small pieces, digestible chunks. And when I speak about digestible chunks, they swallow Team Godparticles whole. And like I said, this was an important round. And because they didn't win this, Godparticles are now destroyed. Their economy is down in the dumpster. Sheriffs and frenzies are all they have.
They're having a lot of pressure being put on A. Knight Rider dashes away from that spot. He knows he's in a really tight corner. But they've already lost Skargot as well. And this eco is just falling over. Logista
Almost died.
Oh, what? Paradox yet again taken out by surprise. Logista gets a kill, but Master and Crosshair are gonna be stabilizing the team.
I have the spike.
4 versus 2 now. One of them is on 15 HP and the other is still towards A main, and Relic's gonna be taking care of him pretty soon, I believe.
Spike
But the
planted.
timing is of essence here for Shivy. If he crawls past that camera, it's gonna be okay. Relic wants to check it. Sound cue heard by Shivy. Just about timing. At least drop another weapon would be great for the side of Godparticles.
Last player standing.
Relic's not gonna let that happen. It's all up to Shivy.
The only good thing that came out of this round is that at least Shivy figured out that Relic always places his camera towards A-Shot. He doesn't know exactly where yet, but he has a small inkling about the general area of that camera. That's it. And I don't know what he'll do with that information, but maybe they can use it someday. You know, if they're in for a flank and they want to be careful about the Cypher utility, maybe that's how they can use it. Although most of their flanks so far have not been very successful. It was only in the first round when Knight Rider was able to go ahead out of the A lobby right at the start of the round and pick up a couple of kills. That's probably the only time the A aggression paid off for Godparticles. Other than that, it did not really work. But Truerippers are running away with this half. They've already reached halfway point. 6-1 is an impressive scoreline. Anything on top of this is a bonus.
It most certainly is. 1-6 and Godparticles are in a fix. They're not really finding the avenues that they want to try and exploit. Just a one round Master. He just adds on to their misery. And here's Paradox finding Logista. Logista had no reason to peek out of that smoke, but he did. Ember is also going to go down. And Truerippers are decimating Godparticles on Haven right now. Relic on the backstep is going to find an easy kill if he comes in here as well. But this is about it. Knight Rider, he's scared for his life. He's scared for every single corner he can look at. Because his operator is the one valuable item. It's the gem in his pocket that he needs to save. And he's got thieves all around him.
Knight Rider and the 4 Thieves. Kind of like Alibaba and the 1 Thieves, but a little more exciting. Position revealed and one tap caught baiting his teammate Relic's footsteps. Oh, classic Truerippers. I'm kind of scared for Team Godparticles now. Fine, most of them died, but 2 of their deaths was completely unnecessary. Logista, how does he die? He peeks out of a nebula in garage. His gun will always be visible first. He will always die, even if it's a 1v1, but he peeked into 3 men. There's no way he was surviving that. Ember got bit by a cabbage and immediately followed up by Paradox. He was trying to keep himself safe too. He used the gravity wells and the nebulas to buy himself some more space around the seaside, but it did not help at all.
Look at the amount of ground control Knight Rider's got. He's in a good position, but nobody's, going to challenge him there. He's just holding on. And that's the most he's going to get. That tripwire is a wall, and he's taking it out. They are aware of the fact that somebody's going to be back there, so that's a little bit tension cost to Truerippers, but I don't think this is going to be a problem. An eco that is probably going to confirm number 8 for Truerippers is almost inevitable at this point.
Classic Truerippers once again taking mid control. This has been their standard strat so far. The only surprise over here is they don't have control over any other part of the map. Of course, they don't need any other control. They don't need anything else when you're able to catch Ember and Logista off guard like that. Paradox sneaking in, making sure that his enemies are shooting utilities and drones and birds at that time while he shoots their heads off. distract, and disrupt. That's the name of the game for Truerippers.
Yes, and as soon as he's broken that tripwire, Relic, one tap caught, everybody's making their way to take down Shivy. And that's number 8 with a flawless round coming in. Truerippers are on a roll.
And this is Godparticles map pick.
Yeah, that is true. Godparticles chose Haven, and they're getting absolutely battered in the first half, and that's exactly what I said earlier as well. The team that's going to get the first half in their bag is the one that I think is going to end up winning out the match. And it might just end up being true because with this kind of a lead, if they make it, 10-2 or even 11-1 at this point, Truerippers have an easy going into their own map pick of Haven.
Honestly, all I think is that Godparticles need to stop getting distracted. That's what Truerippers are doing. Sometimes using their own teammates as bait, sometimes using birds and drones as bait and whatnot. So that's mostly how Godparticles get caught. And it's not like Truerippers is doing anything out of the ordinary. The strategies are not, out of this world or something completely new. It's the same strats that we have seen them doing. It's just that they are so good at understanding the human psychology. They understand where their opponents will be looking at what time. And then they just force them into making errors, force them into making mistakes. Oh, this could be big. The patience from Relic, absolutely amazing. Deep inside a shot, and nobody expected him to be there this early in the game. Knight Rider can't punish him, and he will get shot in the face, spotted, dancing around the cyber cage, buying himself a little bit more space and time. But momentum is something that he cannot continue holding.
Just absolutely amazing. This was a buy round that I actually thought, okay, the scoreline's probably gonna go 8-2, maybe 8-3, and then 8-4. But then the way Truerippers are playing individually and as a team right now, the trades are coming in, the one-on-one fights are being won as well. They're taking so much map control, they're disrupting every single motion that's being thrown into the Godparticles side as a defensive line. They're just doing everything, and Godparticles honestly have no clue what's happening right now. They're just trying to assess what Truerippers are doing, but it's happening at times so fast that they just have no idea how to counter it. Look at that now, already Relic's found Shivy. Make another, wow, crosshair, that's dirty. Another
just
one.
Bullshit. That's just bullshit. So far, Trueripper, what they have been doing is basically distracting their opponents and shooting them when they are not looking. But what the hell was this from Crosshair? Dry peeking, 2 people at the same time, no trade potential available, but he single-handedly wins those duels. See, that's the kind of stuff that I can't explain. When you ask me, Crips, break down, analyze, why are Truerippers able to dominate? I had an explanation for all these rounds. I was able to point out what they did wrong, what went right for Truerippers, what went wrong for Godparticles, but when Crosshair is pulling out stuff like this, that's just mental.
Yeah,
that is just mental.
That first kill was just nasty.
And that's believable too. The first kill was actually believable. The second kill, I'm like, bro, he's not even trading. He's not even, peeking with his flashes. He's literally just dry peeking you. Still winning duels. And when stuff like that keeps on happening, it just turns into a one-sided story. 10-1 already. Potentially an 11-1.
Yep.
No curse storylines this time either,
Oh.
so there's no chance of comeback either. But Truerippers once again winning out trades. Knight Rider.
Oh, Paradox. Oh, Paradox. What is this? No.
He saw him, right?
I think he did. Oh, finally, yes. He's like, wait. He himself doubted it, and he's like, wait, did I see him? Yeah, of course, he misses that, but it just a weird set of events that just occurred lately, but it's still Truerippers on top.
I mean, both of them literally admitted. I know we're not supposed to tell you this, but both of them literally admitted to seeing each other in chat. But they both ignored each other for the hope that maybe they could find something more. It's just funny how these games turn out sometimes. 2 versus 3 retake. Of course, the attackers have a little bit of an advantage, but the moment I say that Shivy equalizes things, one tap gone to make it even. 11-1. a rather quick finish in the first half, and this could be the quick end to the game
Switching
if
sides.
Godparticles don't win this pistol.
11-1 half, and this is something that I saw yesterday, by the way. It was between M42 and the side of ROG in the last map of Ascent. And this is happening on Haven right now. Again, 2 games in a row that I've seen this come up, the scoreline, in 2 different, amongst 4 different teams. And now,
Were they winning because of the same reasons?
I mean, not the same exact reasons, but I would say similar reasons. Because Ascent's a different map, right? So there are a lot more variables to consider. But here, it's just been, like you said, straightforward from Truerippers. They're just sticking to the basics, and they're doing the basics really, you know, they're justifying them a lot.
If you take a look at the individual scores of these people, you will see that the bottom fragger of Truerippers has 2 more kills than the top fragger of Godparticles. I know that they just won their aim duels is a very poor statement to say in terms of analyzing why a particular team is dominating, but today that's just simply what the reason is. A rather slow approach from Godparticles this time around, slowly and surely creeping up the A corridors of long and short, but at the same time, their spike is present towards C long, with 1 player inside Cubby and Logista outside of B. He's hoping that he can catch some players rotating. Logista finds a free entrance into the B site, and with this, he should be able to reach the A site and backstab too. But unfortunately, before the backstab can come through, his players who were leading the charge on A site have already died. He knows that even Relic is present over here, so this will be a Cypher versus Cypher duel. Unfortunately, this is Relic's home turf, and Logista will enter his house, knock on the door, and slay him, opening the avenue for his team to enter. Ember trying to catch the players of Truerippers, trying to stop them from rotating towards A, but he will be caught. 2 versus 3 retake, and odds don't seem to be in Godparticles' favor.
Now in this retake, it's easier for Truerippers because they've got the man advantage, but if they lose 1 in a 1v1 duel against Logista, which is going to be the case right now, as he's been popping off, he's the one who opened up the side. It might as well be Symphony if he closes it down. And a 4th, he's looking for the ace in the pistol, and that's going to be a great start for them to win this out. Logista goes down, Master struggling, gets that shot, and that's going to be 12-1. He's got more than enough time to defuse this one out. And Truerippers have got match point, even though Logista put in the work of a century into that 1 round.
I swear, I feel so bad for Logista right now. Single-handedly liberating the entire site. Managed to sneak in from B, keep in mind. And he was able to liberate the A site even after the 2 original attackers died over here. His backstab was not on time. His teammates died way before they should have. In fact, his teammates initiated way before they should have. They probably should have waited for Logista to get into a better position and sneak deeper into enemy territory before they started to attack the A side so that they could pinch it at the right time. But even after having all the odds against him, Logista was able to get a quad kill. Almost got an ace too, but it just simply wasn't enough. Master clutching out rounds at the nick of time. Knight Rider, Ferrari peeking around that corner, walks into Master's crosshair, dashes right past, but Ember makes things better. At least Godparticles have the man advantage. They might just not end the game yet.
Yeah, 1-tap God, he sees a smoke go down and he has an idea. Oh, he's gonna find a free kill here. No! Gets it somehow, and Paradox adds on to it. 2 versus 2, still working. Relic is also pushing up. They're taking these fights. But unfortunately, Relic, he's not able to translate it into a kill, and now they know where Paradox is, so they're running towards C. Paradox is coming from C long. This is all on him. He can get into enemy lines pretty closely and a lot quicker. That Recon's gonna stop him from entering for a couple of seconds. They know that he's still towards C long. And now, with that smoke going up, oh my god! Okay, Paradox. That was a shot and a half to the head, and it's gonna be round number 2. Shivy survives with 20 HP left on him. And Godparticles, they somehow retaliate.
But I still appreciate the presence of mind on Paradox. Using his cloud bursts to create one-way smokes stopping the Sova from peeking, flicking onto Ember like that, it's just very, very nice. Such reflexes. That's why Paradox is such a he's such a deadly player. And that's why he's on the MVP standings too, at the second place. Third place, my bad. But still, using those cloud bursts to create one way is making sure that you only have to worry about a single angle instead of both the sides of the box. That's why he's so good. Truerippers this time with not that great of weaponry. Shorties and Spectres all over the place. They will try to defend this area. A reverse one-way put up by the opposing Jet Knight Rider. Gives them enough time. Make sure that Paradox and his shorty can't get some cheeky frags. Spike gonna be planted under Heaven. I think this was to make sure that Master and his shock darts don't deal them unnecessary damage from far away.
Yeah. Master up on Heaven. Could take out Ember, but it's not going to be the case. Crosshair has been left with just one tap god who's far away from the site. A one tap comes in from Crosshair, but one tap is far away from the site. He's holding on to a classic, which now he's firing and he just wants to, well, basically slide to the spike, I believe. So at least he gets some sort of economy. He does not want to just give it up completely. He's running into the side, and he's going to get found by Knight Rider, and that's going to be number 3. But still a long, long journey if they even want to think of a comeback. I don't see this happening, because after this Byron that's going to be coming in from the side of Truerippers, this might just be the end over here, Crips.
Could be. This will be very unfortunate if they lose Haven. This was supposed to be their map pick in the end. And what's even worse is that there's no particular strat that Truerippers are using that's, you know, the kryptonite of Godparticles. They're mostly just losing their aim tools. And keep in mind, next map is Ascent, a rather brawly map. If you can't make your aim tools work on Haven, you definitely can't make them work on Ascent. Crosshair supporting his teammate from short while Paradox speaks out from long. That kind of double peak is the kind of double peak that wins you games. Maybe even championships.
Gargod, he needs to perform here. He needs to get at least a 1, but he's been caught off guard, and one tap God brings down 2 easily. Ember with the trade, looking for more, but one tap God is just on a roll with a stylish sport game. He finishes it up on 12-3. Truerippers, a amazing performance on Haven, is going to give them a really convincing, dominating victory. Well, I did not expect this, to be honest.
Same. I knew that Truerippers have what it takes to win, but with such a dominant win, I never expected this. I thought this would be a little more closer. Although I am pleasantly surprised. The way Truerippers bamboozled Godparticles this game was phenomenal. Forcing out errors, and sometimes they just literally dry peeked them. That's how confident they were. Remember that one round from Cross 7? He just jumped into mid and then casually picked up fights with 2 people on 2 separate occasions, winning out each and every single fight. And it wasn't even like he's shooting against sheriffs. No, there was a proper buy round for Godparticles. And for the most part, what's even more sad for the side of Godparticles is that every time they were able to win a round, they couldn't chain 2 rounds together. They lost the one immediately after it. So even the economic bonus that they got from winning that round was just gone out of the window, thrown into the bin.
Indeed.
And they were never able to string those rounds together. So they were on ecos most of the time.
Yeah, that is true. And that kind of threw them off guard. They just could not capitalize upon what they were doing. The one round that they did win was just about it. And that came after, I think it was a 5th round where they won. And after that, it was just decimation. 11-1 they finished. Let's have a look at the match highlights and get back into order as to what we saw to Truerippers be actually truly ripped across their minds and bodies, because clearly this is a performance that I genuinely did not expect against Godparticles, because Godparticles is a team that, you know, when we see them play, they don't get, you know, taken down this easily. They don't. They just don't. They have much better, you know, trajectory in terms of how they take down their own home maps, because all the 4 matches that I've seen them play, they've given a lot more of a tougher competition than this,
Yeah.
and it looks like they're just not on their best today.
They've put up a better fight against better teams too. And yeah, sure, if they get 13-3, I would have expected them to, have this kind of a defeat against a team like Velocity or something, not against Truerippers. So at this point, I'm not sure if Truerippers are having a great day or if Godparticles are having a bad day. Maybe it could be both.
Yeah, it's just could be anything actually.
This
True
round.
Rippers, or it's just True Rippers having a great day. They're just hitting everything and anything at this point, and the side of Godparticles are just struggling to keep up. They're just not having the momentum that they wanted. They're not having the kills that they should be getting. Trades are not coming in order. It's just chaos. But I really hope it turns around on Ascent, because Ascent is coming up and we have a third map on the back of it. But looking at the state of things right now, I'm not convinced if we're going to see that third map at all. It just could be finished off with Ascent, and it looks like it, ladies and gentlemen. But let's hope that Godparticles, suddenly turn the page, they turn the leaf, and maybe they have something under their belt to perform to take us to map number 3.
Yep, we'll see you on the other side, ladies and gentlemen. Ascent coming up after a short break. You guys are watching the LG Ultragear presents Tec Gauntlet Season 3.
Thank you. 5
the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Hey guys, welcome back to TEC Gauntlet Season 3. You guys have been watching Godparticles go up against Truerippers, and it was a rather one-sided match. That too in Godparticles' home turf. Truerippers was able to win 13-3 on Godparticles' map pick. And now that we're heading into Ascent, things are starting to look a little dicey. If I was to point out one reason why Truerippers was able to win that game, I would say that for the most part, they were able to bamboozle Godparticles. There were several rounds where there were clear lapses in communication for Godparticles. Several rounds where Truerippers were just baiting out, Godparticle shots with utilities and then catching them off guard. And that did not happen once, twice, or thrice. It happened like 6 times in the first half itself. So that kind of paints a bad picture. Now, I'm not sure if Godparticles is having a bad day or if Truerippers is having a good day, but Ascent could be one of those maps which turns into a snowball for Truerippers, especially if they're hitting their shots and Godparticles are not. Without further ado, let's jump into the agent selection for Ascent.
Well, it looks like a pretty much routine pick for the side of Godparticles. They've locked in. They are not messing around. They want to take this straight up and, see what they can do. Chivy
Double
with the
duelist.
Sova. Yep, double duelist is the one thing that they've been doing for quite a while, honestly, on Ascent. Skargod's been picking up the raise, even on Byte, I believe. If nobody's picking up the Sky, then he will. If he's not picking up the Sky, he will go for the raise. On the other side of things, it's going to be the same exact lineup as it was on Haven, I think. Truerippers They are not changing it, and that's something that says a lot about them. They're confident with the agents that they play on multiple maps, and that's
Select your
the sign of a good individual player and a team as well. And now that they've got Scargott on another agent, they've got Logista on the Killjoy. Things might just be a little bit more interesting over here because we've got the Raze that is probably gonna be a little bit of a problem in terms of the grenade and the other utilities that Raze has, because the Boombot is gonna get some clearance spaces. The grenade is gonna give not just damage but also push back enemies, and the Showstopper, well, as bad as it is, it sometimes doesn't connect, but at the most times it gets you a multi-kill. So
In the hands of Skargar, I think it will connect.
let's have a look whether it's not gonna reflect Sabrosa here, or we're gonna see somebody else come into the server with the Raze in their hands. But hey, Godparticles, shows what you got.
Godparticles need to step up over here. I'm kind of worried because there were several rounds where Crosshair was just able to get outside mid in Haven and just straight up win aim duels. Dry peeking, no utilities, just mouse one. That's it. And if that kind of stuff repeats in Ascent, then I don't think Godparticles can respond. I'm still rooting for them, though. I'm still rooting for a competitive game. I don't want to see another whitewash. Let's go. Truerippers this time starting on attack.
Here.
Multiple people outside of B-Link trying to walk up mid and maybe assert some control on a shot as well. But for the most part, it seems like they want to take control of Pizza and Market first. After that, they'll decide where to go. The placement of the tripwires kind of tells me that they don't want to go towards the A site, and they will most likely go from mid to Market, but barely anyone coming from B main. A late peek will come through by Relic, but Knight Rider
Spike
tapping
down
away
mid.
at Master. He's even spotted out the other player, so reinforcements are on their way. Truerippers must reconsider their entry points. And for now, it seems like they have managed to split up and take control of other parts of the map as well. We have Paradox deep inside Gardens. One bullet should be able to take care of Ember. The plan B... No, sorry. The plan A was to go towards the B side, but now they're going to plan B, which is the A side. Haha, vice versa. A little switcheroo, and Truerippers are back in control.
2 versus 2. They have a rather interesting setup. Oh, I think Knight Rider spotted him out, and Crosshair, he's gonna be going down straight to the hands of Logista. And Paradox right around Generator. He's not being expected to be here. Knight Rider still looking onto Heaven. They need to consider all their options, and that Paradox, who hears the sound cue but is not able to capitalize upon it, gets the first. The turret's gonna stop him from peeking out every other angle. He has only one to face, and that's gonna be Logista taking him down from the same.
If I died right
Number
now.
1, that could be the work, but does he have time? Oh, he just enough.
Recalling my box.
0.63 seconds. That's 63 milliseconds. That's all he had.
So close. But hey, at least they're able to win this pistol. Maybe they can start stringing rounds together, something that they weren't able to do in Haven, but they hopefully should be able to pull off in Ascent. If they start to string round together and they don't die, if they don't lose players, their economy will build up. And if they have better economy, they can obviously put up a fight much more frequently. That's what was happening in Haven. Every time they win a round, they lose the one immediately after it, which means the economy is destroyed. And it seems like Truerippers want to replicate that same thing. That's why even they are going for a force buy.
Indeed. Truerippers have to be a little careful with this one because they need the first initial kill. Knight Rider, he has a Phantom, but he's going to be taken down. Scargott, he comes in, doubles up, and he's going to protect that Phantom with his life, picks it up himself as well. And now, with the man disadvantage, Paradox, he has a better weapon in his hands, and he's looking to go towards A, where his teammate has already found some success. Logista still lingering around here, so they need to be careful. Master trying to create a diversion towards B with his drone. Truerippers are split across right now, but they want to finish on A, it looks like.
How does Paradox sneak all the way into his generator?
Spike
Of course, the
down
turret
A.
ping in his location makes
Last
Logista
player
aware about his
standing.
advance,
Quiet
but
now.
Master is able to catch Skargod off guard. This could be the difference maker. He doesn't have a better weapon just yet, but the Sheriff is enough for this man.
Oh,
30 seconds
Position
left.
baited out by Shivi. Sova versus Sova. Phantom versus the Sheriff. Timing could be all that he needs, and Shivi finds it.
Well, this is already a better first half than Haven.
Too
So
soon,
that's
bro.
I mean, it's a better first half in terms of the score, right? 2-0, they're up.
Yeah,
It
but
was-
let's see if they can win. Okay, wait. Truerippers are actually not able to buy in this round. So I was expecting a standard third round buy, but because Truerippers forced in the next round, in the previous round, they will be in an eco in this one and maybe even the next one. So, yeah, I agree. This could be a potential 4-0.
Yeah, it could be. It depends on Truerippers trying to maybe pull out a thrifty. Paradox with the beautiful Arcane Sheriff. Blows straight the head out of Knight Rider's body. And Skargod has pushed up B, and that's a lot of information. He's gonna get free.
How do they not know? Okay, yeah, finally the camera spots them out. But Master alone can't do much to stop this one. Even Ember and Skargod are ripping their heads off.
One enemy remaining.
It's about it's customary that you would expect them to go down like this, one after the other. They could not hold on to that beat push, and Ember and Skargod make short work of it. Now the first buy round comes in for Truerippers to maybe not stop, to maybe not let this go down to a 4-0 like it went again, like it went in their favor in the first half of Haven. Could we see a 13-3 on the back end? Could we see a 13-3 being pulled off by Godparticles? That would really throw things into a mix, wouldn't it?
13-5 is a more realistic scoreline, to be honest. Although I kind of expect Ascent to be a lot closer than that. But it will all be determined now. Shivi has an Ares. I hate that gun. Spectre is much better off, but if he can connect some nice spam shots, that will be great. Unfortunately, nobody presents towards B. And Truerippers are not making their advance towards A a secret. They have given away plenty of sound cues. This is kind of obvious that they're trying to sell a fake towards the A side. The only question over here is, will Godparticles be able to call their bluff? They haven't spotted anyone else towards any other part of the map, so Truerippers are still indicating that they are heading towards the A side, but we know the truth. We know that that probably won't be the case. This could be a fake. They might just end up going towards the A side, just not from A main, maybe from Catwalk or something else.
Yeah, there are 3 players.
Mid completely left open. Only an alarm bot. Recon doesn't reveal anyone to its pizza. Now that's going to be Paradox Q to check market. Astra Stars being placed. Clearly an indication of a mid to B split. Something that they did in the first round. But how do Godparticles respond to this? Is it
30
even going to be a
seconds
mid plus B? There's only 20 seconds left. They need to make a move
It
now.
has to. Oh, he eats a bullet to the head, Shivi. Through the wall, but still that's a lot of damage. And Logista, he's gonna take a lot of it through that green box. Without even seeing these opponents, they're taking a lot of damage. Time's of the essence here. One tap God's found Ember. Paradox has got
10
Logista.
seconds left.
And the B-side's been opened up in the last couple of seconds. In the dying moments,
enemy remaining.
Truerippers make it work. And they're looking for a flawless.
One tap God even came in from the A side as a backstabber. Even though One Tap God was a little late to the party, he was able to make a difference. Imagine what would have happened if One Tap God went in sooner, if he was able to sell the fake, and then the remaining members of Truerippers hit B. That would have been even worse. Skargod does try to make situation better, but he's gonna have to pull off a 1v5 in order to do this one. He's just happy that he upgraded to a Vandal and he has a showstopper ready, so he'll probably just save it for the next round.
Yeah.
But things are already looking dicey.
Ooh, that's a little unfortunate. Skargod did not think he would be coming in that quickly, and Relic finds him. And that's going to be number 1 for the side of Truerippers. 3-1, and the side of Godparticles are not really hit that hard. They're going to be having a full buy still, and Knight Rider still has his has an operator in his hand, so things are still looking up for the side of Godparticles. They get that first pick with the operator. They're going to be really happy with it, and it looks like they might just, because Knight Rider is going towards B main, and he's got Logista support here, and Paradox is on the other side of this.
Early aggression towards B. Okay, this could be interesting. Knight Rider will be spotted out. Wait, he wasn't. He wasn't spotted out. Logista broke that drone. So they don't know that Knight Rider is opping over here. Shock darts will still be put in place just to check out that position, but Knight Rider is still able to get a kill. And while that happens, Ember gets a kill towards A. Godparticles starting to hit their shots towards both ends of the map.
Indeed. Master and Crosshair, both of the initiators, have got utility to work with, but I don't think this round's going to be ending up in their favor. Knight Rider's operator is just a little too powerful to be facing right now. And that's exactly why they're holding on. They're just waiting to see if maybe somebody will rotate. Some sort of information will be given out. Somebody makes a push. But nobody from the side of Godparticles is going to do it. They know they have man advantage. They know they have map control. They don't need to do anything. They just need to wait. And Knight Rider, he might just be rewarded for his patience.
30 seconds.
He sees one, he shoots one.
Remaining.
He sees another, he shoots another. 4 of the round for him, as Knight Rider seems to have woken up from his sleep.
It's about time that Jay broke on. The dawn of the light touching his glorious fingers, blessing us with some nice highlight frags. Get it? Night and day. Ah, forget it. I'm tired of explaining my jokes.
I mean, Tom Cruise would get it.
Yeah? Glad you got that reference.
Yes. Of course I did. And now Knight Rider, well, he's going towards A to find success like he did on B. Is he going to get it, though, is the question, because the side of Truerippers are a semi-buy of sorts. 3 of them have weapons with half armor, while 2 of them are on pistols, and 1 of them is on the shorty, who also has the knives out, and that's Paradox.
A rather fast approach this time from Truerippers. I haven't seen them get this close up catwalk ever before, but Knight Rider is such a menace. He kills Master, the one person who was supposed to get get a good angle for Paradox, but he's only good for 1. Relic sneaking up mid, but what's the point? This time, there's really not much that he can do. Godparticles is starting to hit back. 5-1 already. This is like the complete opposite of what we saw in Haven.
Yeah, somehow it's not the opposite per se that, you know, it's just the opposite in terms of Godparticles taking the place of Truerippers. It's just that the names and the players have been exchanged. The scoreline remains the same. 5-1 was the scoreline against Godparticles, and the 5-1 they say we're gonna hit it back to you, and they give it in a really convincing manner. ScarGod finds an early kill, and Paradox is denied of the equation being solved in his favor. The Truerippers are just struggling in the sense somehow the curse of having your opponent speak as your own might just be coming true, and we could see a map number 3.
And all of this without a 9-3.
Indeed.
A hit-and-run playstyle by Godparticles. Very potent up until now. That is, until one-tap God solves the equations. Logista adds another variable into the mix. Something that they need to consider before they venture further. But, of course, when you get double peak like that, there's very less chances that you survive that. Knight Rider with the op. He's coming back towards the B side. Yeah. Now things will be a little difficult if they decide to venture forth. But maybe their hopes are hedging on one-tap God and his flank. He has been fairly successful in flanking A, mind you. And once again, he's present towards 3. If he can thread the needle, this will be a really nice... how do I say this? It's a good thing that one-tap God is on in this position, but again, I'm worried. If he doesn't pick up the kills, then this will all fall apart, and he gets it. The Danger Man is down, but there's only 10 seconds left. They need to move now. Flashes going through. Logista just needs to kill the Spike Planter, and he does that. A few more seconds, and the
time's gone. The time's gone. It's over. The only thing they're gonna get from this round is 2 weapons, and Ember, he does not. He didn't even need to go near that B site. Logista had done work enough. The 1 kill he got was all that he needed. And as soon as that spike dropped down, so did the chances of Truerippers winning that round.
Play some stars in the astral plane.
6-1. How the tables have turned.
I swear.
Yeah, I genuinely, what is happening in this game? I don't understand.
Hit and run, bro. Hit and run. Getting a kill, falling back. Getting a kill, falling back. All of that on A main and B main. No presence by Godparticles towards mid so far. The one time they played on mid, they let it go deliberately because they knew that the mid plus market assaults by Truerippers will probably not manifest well. Oh, but this time Paradox deep inside enemy lines. What on earth? He's already on A heaven? Come on!
Oh, they spotted
And he
him.
even escapes. All he needs to do is just stay alive right now. Everyone will be focusing towards Paradox, and maybe that's gonna buy enough space for his teammates. Ember getting the kill onto one tap God, but he survives. How on earth is this happening? They've lost control of A main, but at least they have the site. So this is a very awkward post-plant setup for the side of Truerippers. They might not be able to get into decent post-plant positions, but at least they're all on site and the spike has gone down. And at least they know the two people are towards A main, so with that information, they will do what they can.
Well, they still have the man advantage, and that's a good thing, but what they don't have is a counter to this Killjoy ultimate. They're gonna have to fall back. One of them is on Heaven, that's Relic. Two of them under Heaven. Master gets one, Logista with one as well. But it's turning down. Truerippers are winning this, and Knight Rider is gonna escape away to save his operator. He expects a push, and he's gonna take care of it. This man is true to his name. He's not afraid of anything. He just rides on the wind. Now he's got one player behind him towards mid, and he's being baited out, and he's not gonna get the kill, but I don't think the spike's gonna be going easy on him. Oh my god, tight spaces, and this guy still survives. Whoa, what?
That
was a misclick.
Black.
That was a misclick. He just popped out his knives.
It's a very expensive ultimate too. It's 7 points now, not 6 points. Hey, at least he saved the op, so that's something.
Yeah, that is good enough, I feel, because he's been having a lot of value coming out of that operator. And his team has a full-fledged buy, so it's not going to be a problem. 6-2. Truerippers looking to find their third. Paradox yet again sent towards mid to find some sort of an opening. He gets tagged and he falls back. Relic is here to support, but they're still not confident about taking this mid position. Shivy, that shock dart is going to deal damage a ton. Down to 84 he goes. Truerippers, they're looking to maybe go towards A short and maybe send Paradox yet again towards a defender side spawn, but they're not confident about it this round somehow.
Yeah, they should not be confident about it. There's very few chances that Paradox will be able to pull it off for a second time in a row. The fact that he survived in the last round doing that play itself was miraculous. I don't expect him to do that again. And that's why they're going for a much safer approach. All four players trying to get outside of tree. They have two players on the A side, one of them in Winery. Logista already dead, but Ember's unchecked. Master spots him out finally. Now that his position revealed, he's kind of trapped and he needs somebody to save him. Shock darts and bullets apiece raining towards him. He does get a kill, but the showstopper is wasted. That's two ultimates wasted in a span of a minute.
Shivy and Skargod are coming in from Heaven, while Knight Rider is coming up from A main. The boys of XF1 are looking like they want to make it work. Skargod needs to find that head, and he lands a beautiful shot. The reflex is coming to work, but he does not look up. He checks down, but it's going to be Knight Rider to pull out a beautiful clutch.
How did he even pre-anticipate that spot? Like,
Now sleep.
that was a one-and-done spot. The reason you hold it is so that nobody will check it, but he peeks like he knows everything and nails that shot too. Oh, absolutely brilliant. 7-2. I never thought I would see something like this in Ascent. I thought this would be yet another map where Truerippers run away with the game, but no.
Right here.
It's Godparticles channeling their inner demons outside.
That was a chaotic round, but somehow Godparticles, they make it work, and they make it work really well. Knight Rider, the hero, he is gonna be the hero. Continuing, Knight Rider, he is just on a rampage. A third for him.
enemy
A
remaining.
fourth for him. Relic running away, and now he wants the ace. As soon as he dropped those knives, we felt bad, but he's got him back in no time. And Master, he just had to look and watch at the map while every single one of them, of his teammates, just lost their lives to nothing. Knight Rider's coming. Master, you better be afraid. Nobody else is gonna fight you, my friend. But he takes him down somehow. Shivy covers up for him, but Knight Rider's done more than enough. That round is his to own.
And Knight Rider is doing most of the heavy lifting for his team. Take a look at his score. 18 frags for Knight Rider. Everyone else on his team on 9, 8, 6, and 3. So he's got literally double the amount of frags of anyone else in his team. Now that's a hard carry.
What in the world is happening? This game has turned on its head more amounts of times than we can count. And here comes another kill by Knight Rider.
Spike down B.
This guy, somebody stop him! Skarga doubles up with a amazing spray down of his own. And Godparticles are not even letting them let out of the one place that they've been coming out of.
Exactly.
They're just stuck in that B side of B main side of things. Just no openings, no avenue to work with, no
And
kills.
Even if they
nothing.
tried to hold over there, the Hunter's Fury would have got them. Crosshair on 0 frags. Yeah, he's having a poor day. Maybe he can open up his first kill.
What the
Teammate
hell,
won't be able
Relic?
to do that.
What?
Shivy
Spike
dancing
down.
around that side of the cage. Crosshair. He flicks away from Logista, thinking he had him. But no, he did not.
Last round before the switch.
Still on 0 frags, Crosshair. I mean, this is karma at its finest. What Truerippers did to Godparticles in the previous game, that's what Godparticles are doing to Truerippers now. Maybe if Truerippers can win this round, turn it into a 9-3, maybe a comeback is possible. Otherwise, I definitely think we're seeing map 3 today.
Yeah, I don't see this going any other way. 10-2 half looking almost really likely at this point with the, destructured buy from Truerippers, and they're running in towards A. They're just like, you know what? Damn it all, we're going straight. We're taking that A side with the Cosmic Divide. We're gonna find this plant, but these utility damage and Knight Rider!
Spike down
Dude,
A.
this guy always finds a kill somehow. Stop him.
Goodbye.
Relic is holding down mid
I
and he
know
finds
exactly
one.
where.
The Newell Theft is going to give them some information to play with. And Truerippers, they're looking to put down the cursed scoreline.
This could possibly be a cursed scoreline.
Down.
Knight Rider's dead. That means the Danger Man's out. Even Skargod, the second highest fragger on the team, is no longer available in this round. Spike already down and Relic on the backstab. He could actually catch Ember off guard. The Hunter's Fury committed, which prompts Shivy to peek, and he's making it work, but somehow Relic comes in on time, but Ember's taking the defuse.
No way.
And they find
that would
him.
have been so close.
So close indeed. But at least with the 9-3, the possibility
Switching
of map 3
sides.
reduces. You know, the Gauntlet curse. 9-3 has always been one of those scorelines which indicates a comeback, and of course, with Truerippers on the defensive side, a comeback could be
goes
possible.
here.
Oh. A comeback definitely seems possible right now.
This is a nice spot.
As Truerippers, they need to make it work from the pistol itself.
Yes.
It is really important for them to try and find as much value out of this pistol as possible. Maybe keep as many players alive, even in the next round, and follow that up in the buy one as well, in the bonus round as well. And only then maybe they can find, a comeback to be possible. Now, Godparticles, they are spread across the map, mid, B, and A, all three being shown presence. While Paradox and Co are trying to decipher what exactly is going on, and they're moving in towards short. Okay, Knight Rider, he's been on a roll. Can he get the first kill here onto Crosshair?
That would be absolutely phenomenal. If Crosshair goes down over here, the tree defense will crumble. That's going to leave one tap God all by himself, but Crosshair finally picking up his first frag of the game. Another flash, keeping Ember at bay. Meanwhile, Paradox started to show his aiming skills on the other side of the map. But Ember, what a peek!
Player standing.
Scarward was forced out of
I'm sorry,
generators
what?
because of that pain chills, and then he just got that kill easily. Using the utility to perfection. Up until a few seconds ago, I would have definitely said that Truerippers have what it takes to win the pistol, but in a matter of seconds, the round, it's completely flipped 360. And now, Godparticles are back to their regular shenanigans.
Master, he spots out Scar God, and the shock dart is definitely gonna hit him, and it takes him down as well. Master 1v2, he's made it a little bit easier for him, and he's looking to take out the Killjoy utility, but there's none. Ember, he's gonna take him out easily, as he's been sitting vulnerable and in the center of that gravity well. And number 10 pops up. The curse is probably not going to be affecting them after all, because they won the pistol, and they're definitely looking to win this one as well, because there's going to be absolutely no buy from the side of Truerippers. Number 11 is on the cards, at least I want to say 99%. And after that match point, how far can that be?
You never know. After today's game, you never know. Buy round for Godparticles. One tap God on the Marshall and nothing else. Just toying around with him, crosshair, hoping to land a nice flash, but the Jet dashes past him. Everyone else, they pump his guts full of lead. Paradox and his crossfire angles is not helping. The head glitch not working out for him. A rather sweaty battle, but it does end in the favor of Truerippers. I'm sorry, it does end in the favor of Godparticles at the end of the day. One kill, a possibility, but even that will be denied. Nothing works out for them. Only Knight Rider died in this round, and his weapons were retrieved, so a rather clean round for Godparticles. This might just be the one game which goes on to split.
Split is looking a lot more likely right now. I did not expect it to happen, but somehow Godparticles turned the tide in a way that it's like the color went from blue to red in literally a second. How often do you see two score lines like this in the same game which go against each other? It's just not supposed to happen, but it is happening in front of our eyes. Knight Rider looking for the first kill, spots the head, an easy kill for him. That smoke is a little misplaced from the Truerippers boys, and that's gonna cost him. One tap God's definitely gonna be hearing the end of it. And Crosshair, the worst game probably that he's had in the Tec Gauntlet, with just one kill in about 14 rounds that he's played. And Knight Rider's having probably the best. 22 kills for that man. And the closest to him is Paradox, and he's on 14. There's no stopping Godparticles from winning this.
There.
Paradox should make a difference. He's coming out of B, spots out that nobody's over there, but it's a bit too late. Relic really can't do much with that information anyway. One tap God has to
Last
wait for his
player
teammate, but
standing.
he peeks all by himself, giving away the one little advantage they had. Paradox in a nearly impossible 1v5. Ember's already spotted him. Of course, with the Spectre, you can expect him to run and gun. Dinks him in the head too. Little chinks of his armor taken off. Paradox has been carrying his team. His team kind of having a bad day. Paradox on 15, now 16. Everyone else on his team on 7 frags. Crosshair on literally just 1 frag. Yeah,
Point.
I guess both the teams are having a bad day of sorts. None of them in their element, and this could be map point.
How is that possible? It's just...
I swear.
That's just
I mean-
not... Both the team... Okay, so first, Truerippers were having a great day. And then suddenly, within 5 minutes... 5 minutes was the difference between map 1 and map 2. They just have the worst day possible. And Crosshair somehow goes from... I don't remember his kill count of the last game, but he goes from whatever it was to now having literally just 1.
I know. And it will most likely be a 13-3 map again. Except in the favor of the other team. 3 versus 3. there is a small chance that Godparticles finish this out. They have the better weaponry. Most of the players of Truerippers down to Spectres and full shields. No ultimates available for anyone in this server. Although I must point out that Ember is just 1 point away from his Cosmic Divide. Shivy 3 points away from the Hunter's Fury. And Master is already deep inside enemy lines. This could be big. Maybe with this backstab, he can catch Logista off guard, but he's looking in this direction.
Oh, that's it.
Master has to be wondering, why would Logista be looking in that direction this late into the round? Questions you'll never have the answers to.
Yep. They still have 45 seconds to work with. And look at where Ember is. I'm sorry, look at where the one-tap God is, the side of one-tap God. He's so far away. He thought they would go towards B, and he ran straight there. And that's the end of this round, and probably this map as well. 13-3. Going twice. I told you, Crips. I told you.
Spike planted.
Wouldn't it be crazy if we saw 13-3 go against the side Truerippers? And there is no goddamn way in hell anybody would have thought this would be possible.
Don't lie to me,
What is up
Universe.
with both of these teams?
Don't lie to me, Universe. You said 13-3 again in the favor of Truerippers.
No, I said 13-3 again in the favor of Godparticles.
Fine. I mean, I'm not gonna go ahead and check what you said, but I, for one, did not expect 13-3 in the favor of Godparticles. I thought maybe like 13-5 something. Truerippers take this map, make it a quick day, but nope, we're going to map 3 apparently.
We indeed are.
What is going on? Like, the tables have turned like 180 degrees, and both the maps end at 13-3, except every other team started to have issues. Somehow Crosshair was just not having a good day. A single frag in the entire game. Not what he would have expected, especially when he was winning dry peak duels in the previous game. So what happened? What happened in the span of 5 minutes?
Let's have a look at the match highlights to see what happened, Chris, because I think that's the one thing that we might just have some answers taken out from. The starting itself, it looked like, Godparticles turned over a leaf, but I thought Truerippers would actually hit back. I really thought that this is going to be, a more closer map than the previous one, and Truerippers would come out on top of it. But the first half, the 9-3 half that came in, Godparticles looked amazing. And then comes in, after the pistol, where they lost 2 players early on, Godparticles, and I thought, okay, this is going to be started to come back. But then the remaining 3, Logista, Shivy, and Ember, they hit back so hard. And then they just steamrolled them. Not a single round given away in the second half, and a beautiful 13-3 victory comes in their favor.
Oh, definitely. And this time, they fixed all their mistakes. Last time, the trades were simply not present on the side of Godparticles. This time, the trades were phenomenal. They were able to string rounds together. They never had an economic breakdown. Yeah, sure, there were some rounds where I was really surprised with Paradox's movement. He was able to get all the way into defender spawn as an attacker, sometimes even get into A heaven from the defender spawn. So that kind of stuff was a little unexpected, but I thought, okay, yeah, maybe if we can pull this off again and again, then he will start to pinch Godparticles. That never happened. Everyone on the side of Godparticles was just having such a good day. At least, wait. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say a good day. They were just having a good match. If they were having a good day, they would have been considered in the previous map as well. But Paradox did all he could to save his team. Paradox had 17 frags. Everyone else on his team on less than 7. Knight Rider, on the other hand, had 24 frags. His teammates on 15, 15, and 10, whatnot. So that kind of tells you everything you need to know. Paradox, he was the one consistent player who was able to perform in both the games. Crosshair had 2 frags throughout the entire game. Everyone else on Truerippers on single digits. So at the end of the day, to conclude both these games, the teams were just winning on the basis of aim duels. That's it. That's literally it. Truerippers was able to win Haven because of it. Godparticles won Ascent, and now that we're going into Split, it's kind of neutral ground. And everyone needs to hit their shots because Split is infinitely more complicated than Ascent. So what's going to happen?
Indeed.
We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah, Godparticles have a. I want to say Godparticles have a better track record on Split than the than the side of Truerippers. At least that's one thing I believe. So that could be a speculation that we have to consider for their win condition. But hey, we're gonna have to just wait and see because both these matches have been absolutely polar opposites of just names. The scoreline has remained the same. Are we gonna see another one of a landslide victory? We don't know, but it's going to take a while. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back real shortly with the LG Ultragear presents TC Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial, apparel partner 656, accessories partner Cosmic Byte, and esports partner Aimlab. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. This match is only getting heated up.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics.
Hey guys, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents Tec Gauntlet Season 3 powered by Crucial, 6x6, Cosmic Byte, and Aimlab. I think we should rename this tournament to Comeback Central. I made this joke 2 days ago and it is still relevant. Surprise, surprise, surprise. 13-3 on Haven, 13-3 on Ascent. But both these maps won out by different teams. What's happening? Like, how did this game turn 180 degrees on its head and did a backflip and a front flip at the same time and then finish it off with a cartwheel?
It definitely has been a match that we did not expect to go this way. 13-3 across the board, but two different names holding it up. One who has picked, both of these teams have picked up their opponents' maps, and they're sitting with the same scoreline. It's something
Exactly.
that this does not happen usually. This is not normal. And now that we're moving into split as the agent selection comes up, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I don't think Crips either has absolutely any idea what's going to happen here.
I do kind of feel like Godparticles might have a little bit of an advantage. Back when they were Force One Esports, they had a decent amount of control over split.
Yeah,
But
that
again,
I believe
the
too,
lineup
yeah.
was different. They had RVK in their lineup back then, and now RVK is an ENIGMA. And Godparticles is back to their original roster, which used to be their roster in the CSGO days. So, I don't know. Even in the CSGO days, on maps which relied a lot on mid control, like let's say Ascent on or maybe Split, even in those maps, they were not that great back in the CSGO days. They were good on maps like, let's say, Haven or maybe
Okay.
Icebox.
Hold on, Crips, look at this. We have a Viper in the play. Logistics playing the Viper. There's going to be no Sentinel for the side of God Particles. And now I don't know if that's concerning.
Choose
They
your
have
agent.
a double controller, double duelist, and a single initiator lineup. Whereas on the other side of things, we have got a Sentinel. We've got double Sentinels, by the way, Sage and Killjoy. And a double duelist as well. Okay, now this is getting interesting. One side has an initiator, the other doesn't. One side has double sentinel, the other doesn't. One side has a double controller, the other doesn't.
With no sentinel.
It's just a lot of different agents, a lot of different.
Did Godparticles think that they're playing Bind? Because that's the kind of lineup we usually see on Bind.
Yeah, actually.
Double controller is something we see on Bind. Double initiator on Split. Okay, fine. Could work. But double sentinel can also work. Double controller, on the other hand, I have never seen that in Split before.
Yeah, I mean, with a Viper, you always expect to have a secondary controller because the Viper doesn't really have, as much variability in her utility, right? She can't really throw it out everywhere like the Omen or the Astra, right?
But we don't.
It's a one-time thing only with that wall.
Yeah, we don't often see a Viper in Split. It's not a bad pick, but it's just not very common.
Indeed, isn't.
All right, let's just see how this one rolls out. We have Truerippers starting on defense. Their opponents on attack. It's actually good that Godparticles is starting on attack. This is their preferable side. At least it used to be back when they were Force 1 Esports. Barrier Orb will be almost instantly broken. Mid control attempted by Godparticles over here. But after breaking that little block of the Sage Wall, they don't face. They know that Truerippers will extend further and they will want to pick up fights, so they're just hoping to get a pick. Or two.
Alright, now if you want to consider that the side of Godparticles, depend heavily on mid-control, you are correct. That is going to be correct, because this is a team that always almost contests mid, unless it's a certain round where they've made a completely different call of maybe rushing straight to B. But even then, Split is a map where without mid, you practically cannot do anything, because the rotations are so quick. You just need that mid control to cut off at least one kill, maybe two.
And they have mid control. Godparticles have already gotten into vents. Paradox extending further, checking if there is anyone inside of A, and Logista spots him out.
No.
But I think Paradox has heard the footsteps. He just did not expect it to be this close. Spike drop. No, this could be a big mistake. And there is a barrier up to stop that from being recovered. Somehow, Crosshair could not find that kill onto the Spike recovery. Relic has pushed out of B main and gotten all the way to the bottom of mid. And yes, there is indeed no time. They need to hurry. And Relic is just making it very, very expensive. Night Rider can go for the plant. A very safe plant indeed. But Crosshair is trying to deny it. And he's somewhat successful. He runs out of bullets, but Relic covers him. Oh my god, this round has given me so many panic attacks. I need my meds. I need my anxiety meds. What? Okay, let's take it slowly. Let's take it from the top. We'll roll the highlights again. First things first, they put down the Nebula on B Heaven, and Godparticles take control of the vent room. Good enough. That's expected. Nothing out of the ordinary over there. But then, their players start to position themselves just outside of A main. They get the kill onto Paradox over there. And then all the way from there, they drop the spike at the start of A Heaven. After they recover the spike, they go towards B and plant it. So they basically did a world tour. They explored each and every part of this map.
They most certainly did. And now, as a result of that world tour, their money is down to the drains. Well, the world tour is definitely expensive.
Ah, of course.
A little slow approach from them. They're being careful about the way they play. One Tap God is going for an aggressive push, and he's going to get taken down as expected. Scar God, he's not going to let that to chance. He's going to get that kill. And that's going to be man advantage. But for how long? Another head spotted. Fired in the direction, but Crosshair knows that he's safe. Paradox is also here, and he's going... Okay, he wanted to maybe go back, but he's sticking still here for a little bit longer.
Right there.
And Relic, he knows that they're coming towards B main. He's holding down a good angle. That the off angle is pretty good, but he's gonna get blinded away. And here they move inside the site.
Oh my god. Great stuff by Crosshair. What on earth was that flick? Somebody please
One enemy
explain.
remaining.
Paradox also comes through from behind, catches Scargon at the worst time possible.
This is for the
Truerippers literally shooting their opponents in the back. Scargod and Logista, both of them had their backs turned towards their opponents. Truerippers really showing us why they are the tactical supremacists on this map.
2-0 they are up, and now is the first buy run. This is the first test that's going to be coming their way that they need to be able to handle. The Viper wall goes down. That's cutting Heaven mostly, more than the side of more than the A side itself. Maybe it looks like they might just want to go towards that vent position, because this is going to give them a clear passage. They can just walk straight into Heaven with no problem whatsoever, where Paradox is waiting for them with an alarm bot.
Yeah, and Paradox, he's holding an angle from which he can fall back up on that rope. His shots will be inaccurate for the most part, but he can run away, of course, and disengage. A-Heaven now taken over by Godparticles. They put down the barrier up to stop the rotations, and there's only one player on the site. Master is isolated. There's no way he should be able to survive this. The flash gives away his position, but somehow he's able to get the kill onto Shivi. Doubles up! Master does much more than what could have expected of him. He was never supposed to get even one frag in the first place if they peeked him at the same time, but he got double, and that's all the difference that they needed. Another backstab by Paradox. He gave up on the vent region only to get control from behind once again. Ember lining them both up. This round is going back and forth again and again. They know exactly where Paradox is, but maybe he can stop Ember from picking up the spike. And he sees his head.
30 seconds
Makes the cross
left.
nonetheless.
He expects somebody to be under Heaven, but nobody's there. Now he has a 1v2 battle on his hands, an uphill battle that's gonna be sucking him down to the depths of hell. Ember with a 3k, and he's the savior of this round. If he hadn't come in for that flank, I think he ran and came down. I don't know whether they hurt him or not, because I thought he did run in towards the defender side spawn from Heaven. But still, Truerippers, it was a bonus, so I don't blame them for losing that one out. They are still gonna have a buy, and you can see one tap God. That's the one weapon that I've always seen him use on Split, and he sits in that B Heaven corner in that cubby right next to the entrance, along with his teammate Crosshair supporting him. It looks like right now they're taking a little bit more of a passive approach. There are two players still towards mid. Paradox, along with Crosshair, is holding down this mid angle, and he's gonna put that wall up just to save his teammate. They spot him, and he is gonna have to dash away.
Yeah, it's good that he dashed away too. If he stayed over there concussed, that paint shell would have decimated him. So, again, they haven't really found out that Paradox has an operator. They just know that he was in mid. They saw him dash back towards the B Heaven region. But Paradox once again looking to take control of Wentz. Again, the responsibility of defending A side falls onto the shoulders of Master. And now, while he does have capable shoulders, I don't know how much he can do all by himself. He needs some backup. He doesn't find anything, so he just falls back once again, giving up the A Heaven region to Godparticles. They want to rush on Paradox up close and personal.
No.
Of course, Shivi and his superior mobility with the Spectre gets the better of Paradox and his close range operator. But they don't have control of B fully yet. At least B main region is still under control of Ember, so this could be a little bit of a digression of sorts over here. I'm sorry, it wasn't in control of Ember, it was in control of Relic, but after making their presence known to its both sides of the mid, they finally decided to commit to its the ace side. It's a bit late, 11 seconds
10
left.
seconds
They
left.
can definitely plant the spike, but no, what? One tap god has died, and they haven't started planting.
Spike planted.
Oh, now they did, finally. So many of these rounds come down to the wire.
3 versus 2, and it's still Truerippers who are in a little bit of a disadvantaged moment, and Knight Rider, he's gonna add on to that. Nothing he gives them, and this third kill could be coming in, the final kill. Wait, he's got a 3 kill already, the 4th kill that could be coming in for him. Master is just stuck here. He just wants a couple of exit frags at this point, not give them away anything to save. Especially that operator could be taken down by him. The fake flash is not gonna make him turn away. Master, good for just one. Number 2 comes up for the side of Godparticles, as they have what they need. The operator surprisingly has been given up, and I think I would, it's not okay. Never mind. It's actually not surprising because on the attack of split, the operator is a little bit of a disgusting weapon.
2-2. At least this map is looking a little bit more closer than the ones before. But Truerippers now having an eco, so they can do some wild stuff, and believe me, it's Godparticles who are doing the wild stuff over here. Like, they take control of mid first. If they don't get it, they take control of A heaven, and then they go back to vents, through B, back to A. All of this stuff, it just makes them such an unpredictable team.
Yeah, it does. Paradox is trying to be a little bit sneaky with this, and he's gonna get taken down. Gargod finds a second as well. One tap God with the only trade. And Truerippers on their eco are looking to cause damage, but it's just the one kill that they've got so far.
Yeah, not much to go off of. It was never supposed to be that round anyway. I like the fact that Truerippers are emphasizing on mid control. If they can at least have this one part in their pocket, they can at least rotate quickly enough, and they need to be quick on their rotates considering how often Godparticles change up their approach. See, that's what I was talking about. They can hear all these guys going back and forth on B main. That's why Relic wants to make sure that at least this part of mid is under his control.
Oh,
the timing was just so poor, so terrible.
Crosshair.
Yeah.
He's creeped up, but that's not the best position to be in.
At least he was trying to be sneaky. Could have gotten at least one kill if they didn't spot him out immediately. But now the problems start to creep up. All 5 ultimates available on the side of Godparticles, and how frequently they've been changing up their approach. This can be facilitated even further with Shivy and his Seekers. If they find out exactly where Truerippers are, they should be able to change their approach in the right direction, and that too with plenty of time remaining. That's the only thing that could be a problem for Godparticles and their whole World Tour approach. They run out of time, they drop the spike in an unorthodox spot, and that's the only way that Truerippers can stop them. If that happens, then Truerippers have a formula to success. I think the formula to success this time relies on giving up mid and taking control of A main instead.
Shivy clears out most of Went Room, and the mid control this time a little more sparing, as a heavy setup towards A looks like would be a push. And Paradox, he's gonna get punished. Being all alone in that push is gonna go down, and that's gonna give them an open A site. Gargod aware of the fact that somebody could be on the side, but there's nobody. And this ultimate is gonna go to waste.
Yeah, no problem. They have another ultimate which is even deadlier, making retakes almost impossible. Viper Spit committed. Knight Rider and Shivy still have their ultimates ready, so this does look like a round which could go in the favor of Godparticles, unless Master activates his lockdown. He can do so. Almost every corner is covered except for that one tiny part towards the right-hand side of the site. Ember coming in from behind. This could be big. He tried to break the lockdown, but he just wasn't successful. All of them will be detained for sure. And they got it. Ladies and gentlemen, they have the defuse. Maybe Levistar will even survive this if he keeps on hiding inside his Viper Spit, which extends all the way inside of screens. Such a deep Viper Spit I have never seen before, but hey, with the lockdown, they're at least able to get this round, and that's the best part. Godparticles used 4 of their ultimates in this round. Truerippers used only 1, and it was still effective.
Well, 3-3. The scoreline's been a lot more close than the previous 2 matches, at least in this map. Split looks like it's gonna split the difference between these two. And rightfully so, these teams have been a little bit more competitive here. The Viper Wall yet again towards A as Logista looks to maybe sell out a fake. Paradox yet again pushing. He's not afraid of this playstyle. There could be a fight and one of them has to win. Logista could escape, but choosing not to. He's peeking out, and as soon as his wall goes down, Logista spots him out. Paradox, he gets away safely. But this guy's aggression is just a little too much for somebody's heart condition.
I know. should probably put up a health advisory at the start of every Truerippers match. Oh, that gravity well attacks almost everyone, and imagine a paint shell following up on the back of that gravity well. Oh, the amount of damage would be phenomenal. One tap God holding an off angle, but Scar God still wins the duel. Oh, now, you don't see that often. A Cosmic Divide committed on the A side. Okay, what kind of a fake is this?
30 seconds left.
Cosmic Divide on A side with most of the attackers not going in that direction, historically not awesome. And this is so weird.
Yeah, it is. There is the one player here, Crosshair, and he could just stop the... And all he needs to do is peek out, gets it, but he gets straight out immediately almost. The plan will go down. The Master could be stopping it, and he will! The plan doesn't go down! Truerippers have gotten it just in the nick of time! No!
Last player
This
standing.
is... No! Godparticles! Time is not your best friend! They took too long to plant the spike, and even though that player was taken down who defused, who denied it in the first part,
About there.
there was always going to be a second one to come and try to deny it because they know that the time's too low. And if they just get the planner, the round is theirs. And that's exactly what happened.
And this was the danger that I pointed out before as well. They keep on trying all these fakes. They keep on trying to go around the entire map. They will run out of time, and that's the only way how Truerippers can beat them. And now they have done that. 4-3. Truerippers finally looking to take the lead, hoping that they can maintain this lead too. Actively spreading out across all parts of the map, we have Godparticles trying to play their defaults, but let's be honest, their definition of default is very different from the one that I am used to, so I can't really make a comment on that. 4 people towards B main. This could potentially be a big move. All of them reveal their cards at the same time. Knight Rider with the double opens up the B side, forcing out the rotations from mid. One tap God has the big showstopper, but he doesn't get anything with that.
One tap God,
Spike
getting
down,
another
B.
one. 3 versus 2. Ember and Logista, both the controllers who are alive. And Logista's actually crawled past. He's right above one of the players of Truerippers, and they don't have any idea about this.
Player
Ember
standing.
goes down to one tap God, and Logista's still stuck on rafters. And he's been spotted out, but he's able to take down Master somehow. 16 HP, he's on half a bullet. That's all that's needed, and Paradox is going to give him one full bullet of it. That's going to be 5-3. Truerippers have the lead.
How did he get that kill on? Like, how do Truerippers not know that?
I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. It's just a matter of timing and position.
Matter of position, timing, maybe even a little bit of luck. Up towards B. No shots connected, but like always, it's a default spread. There's a gap in that toxin screen. It's gonna be big. They saw them cross. I'm not sure if the spike has been spotted yet, but with Relic's kill, the spike definitely will be spotted. The rotation's coming in from Truerippers. Not yet, but you know, you can see from their position, they want to move. They want to rotate towards the A side. It's just that all these people making noise towards the B side are making it impossible for Truerippers to leave. So they still have to commit their players on the B side, leaving only Master all by himself towards A. Oh, one tap got good for only one. When he gets double peak like that, there will be a problem. The Sage putting up that barrier up, hoping to hold off the players from heaven, but a counter wall from Knight Rider. And he somehow gets the kill onto the opposing Sage. Paradox does win the duel with the op, but now he's getting peeked from several angles and he has no idea where to look next. Logista making sure his movement is on point. 1v2 for Master. What a slow and very unorthodox approach from Godparticles. Truerippers is confused as hell. I'm pretty sure there will be a timeout called in the next round because I sure as hell need one.
Yeah. Master.
What kind of fakes are these? Like, seriously.
It's it looks like they're just trying out a lot of different. They have so many different strategies for fakes and slowdown approaches. They take it to the last 20 seconds of the round. And Truerippers, well, they're countering it pretty okay, but there are a couple of rounds like these where it's just, you know, a little enigmatic and it throws them off guard. And rounds like these just have to go to Godparticles.
Bro, don't even talk about being thrown off guard. This is not thrown off guard. I've seen people get thrown off guard. This is our minds being surgically removed, altered, brainwashed, and then put inside our heads fresh. Because for the most part, I can't understand why Godparticles are doing something. I can see the overarching storyline. I can figure out what their plan is going to be at the end of the day. But there are so many simpler ways of doing it. So many risk-free ways of doing it too. But Godparticles want to take the hard way. They want to take the hard way forward. And sometimes Truerippers are able to punish that. Sometimes they're not able to see things coming. And for the most part, things boil down to trading. Because at this point, even Truerippers have realized they cannot predict where Godparticles will come from. Or more importantly, when they will come from that particular place.
That is true. Godparticles are taking so much time. They take mid-control. They take it as slow as possible. They don't give away anything at all. And that just makes it really uncomfortable for the side of Truerippers. But they still somehow battle it out. They still somehow do try and stabilize everything. But it's not enough. Godparticles need to try and work on making their pushes a little bit more faster. Because the slower it gets, they're going to lose that rounds on timing. Like we saw earlier. All the side of Truerippers need to do at times is just take out the planner. And after that, there's nothing the side of, Godparticles can do. Because even though they've killed the guy who killed the planner, time's way past gone for them to recover that round.
Yeah.
Post that, what can you do? It's just round given away on basis of merely something that's a technicality.
Exactly. And all 5 rounds that Truerippers was able to get was based on that one technicality. Like, imagine exploiting the Achilles heel to such an extent that you have to amputate the foot.
Well, right now, both of these teams have got their feet about themselves, but Truerippers are a little bit back on economy. They're going to have a little bit of a tough time in this round, and it looks like number 5 could be up for the side of Godparticles. And we go back to level scores yet again. And if that happens, this game's going to be the closest one we've had so far. Maybe in overtime as well, who knows?
I hope we don't have an overtime. Imagine failing to a technicality in overtime. That would be painful, bro. It would physically hurt me. And my eyes. Don't even talk about brain damage. That's just... that's a distant possibility. Okay. Fast A-hit. One of the more streamlined pushes that we have seen from Godparticles in a very long time. They've only left the sky on the B site in the form of Shibi. That's it. But without flashes, how do they hope to get control of the site? Paradox trying to keep them at bay. The spray not connecting. Showstopper activated. He up-drafts over it. He dodges the showstopper, but he can't dodge the bullets from that classic. And one tap, God just using the shackle for superior movement, killing everyone before they have a chance to shoot back at him. Holy moly. Shivi somehow dies to the hands of the Sage while he was trying to go back on the B side. And the Logis are walking into the paint shells. I'm not sure if one tap God can see into the future or he is just that fast, because most of his ability usage was so phenomenal in this round. He was able to get into positions where his enemies did not even have a line of sight on him.
I should play some Astral Stars in this reality.
Well, if the side of Truerippers continue to put up a hole like that, and Godparticles, well, that just genuinely was supposed to be a Godparticles round. That was supposed to be 5-5. But, well, things are as they are, and they went down, and Truerippers, they make you... Wait, what? How did he even expect him to... He just knew that he's sitting in that angle somehow.
No. When I said how, I was like,
Obscuring vision.
how did Knight Rider not expect this? He did not even fire a single bullet. And of course, the trades will go back and forth. Why did I expect anything else? There's trades on A heaven, there's trades on B heaven, there's fighting everywhere. A two-pronged strategy. No, make it a five-pronged strategy because everyone's doing whatever they want. They're all going all by themselves, and Logista somehow finds himself lonely inside of Vents. Spike dropped deep inside mid, and of course, whatever control he did get over to its A heaven will now be forced to. He will be forced to relegate it. Master holding the angle. He knows about it. Free fire comes through. You know, deep in my heart of hearts, I knew that Logista would win that duel because Logista, his movement and his choice of picking up his angles, picking up his fight has just been that good in this entire game. Now, I have a feeling that he will use this smoke, and that slow up could be the only thing that baits him out. He knows about Crosshair's positioning, but he has no idea where Relic is. Crosshair still wins the duel and saves me further brain damage, but seriously, some of these duels, I have no idea why they are happening in the first place. Forget about how.
Right there.
7-4 and Truerippers stabilize. They've got a healthy lead now, 3 rounds, and this could be 8-4, the first half. Because looking at the buy of Godparticles, that's exactly what it looks like.
What does it look like? Please tell me. I do not know. I don't need answers. I need closure.
You know, is that meme that we've seen on Instagram? I don't want peace. I want problems, only problems.
Yeah. There are plenty of problems headed towards us. Let me assure you that.
Well, the problem right now for Godparticles is to find the first frag. And that's a little away because given their range of weapons, that's just Spectres, by the way, it's going to be a difficult strategy to pull it off.
But for the first time, Godparticles are going towards a full commitment. No fakes, no mid, no lurkers, no nonsense. It's a complete A rush. A good old-fashioned A push. The only person who is flanking is going to be the defensive Wraith. That's one tap God. A lockdown committed to its screens leaves plenty of space for Godparticles to maneuver, but still, somehow, they do not hear one tap God approaching. The showstopper gets him a kill. The pain shells forces God out. Explosive barrage over here on the A side as finally Shibi stops his killing spree. Relic turns around 180 degrees, shoots Shibi in the head, and he wins the duel against Knight Rider. Killer unleashed. A relic of an old time, finally showing us what he's truly made of.
Come on now.
Oh my god, what an insane retake.
Switching sides.
Indeed, that had everything. Grenade kills, throwing in satchels, damage across the board, and a clutch.
1 second, peeps. I gotta
8-4, and Truerippers have taken Split by storm. Is this gonna be the opposite on this half? Because Split is known to be a little bit more dynamic in terms of defense when it comes to certain teams like Godparticles. On their defense, when they were back in F1, these 3 guys right here, Shivi, Knight Rider, and ScarGod, were absolute beasts. If they can replicate some of that form, they're not gonna have a problem getting back into this game.
Pistol round. If Truerippers win this, they will get the momentum that they need. I kind of feel like Godparticles played themselves with all those overly complicated strategies, which to some extent were unnecessary. I just hope that their experimental strats work out on the defensive side. I wonder if they have some of these experimental strats on the defensive side, because for now, it seems like a very standard hold. 1 on A, 1 on A heaven, 2 on B heaven, 1 on B main.
Here.
Regular stuff, what you would expect from a decent defense on Split. Truerippers, on the other hand, they have split up this time around 3 on mid, 1 outside A main, 1 on B main. So it's a default spread. Paradox gets inside Wentz. He knows there will be someone over here, so he drops down, but Knight Rider is prepared for him. 5-dimensional chess, that's what these guys are playing against each other.
Yep. And that Went room looks like it as well. It looks like a 5D chessboard. Up and down. 2 different levels. Make it 3 if need be, considering A Heaven as well. One tap God jumps straight down, but this time he's got 2 players to face off. And the second one is the one who's going to take him down. But Relic!
30 seconds left.
He finds both of them towards wins.
Blocking vision.
He's
Concealment.
down to 48 HP, but the A side has been covered up by the attackers. The plant's going to go down. And here's the retake. 3 versus 3. What have you got for us, Godparticles? Because you really need to win this one.
3v3 at least is a doable situation for Godparticles. Most of them coming in from A Heaven, but Relic just dancing around that smoke on the verge of getting an ace. He knows where Ember is. He wants it. He gets it. No, Ember denies. He knows where the Killjoy is towards his right-hand side, but does he check the angle? Yes, he does. Master still wins it. Truerippers with the pistol win have the advantage that they need. They might have the possibility of converting this into a 10-4, maybe even 11, if Godparticles decide to go for some unorthodox force buys.
9-4. Truerippers are putting on a show. They are getting advantages left, right, and center, and they're taking down Godparticles in every way possible. Nothing that they're doing is not being countered, and this is exactly what they would have wanted to do from the beginning itself. 10th round looking almost inevitable at this point, unless there's something that comes out of a miracle for the side of Godparticles. Grenade being thrown in by Skargot to keep him at bay towards mid for a little while longer, but how long can he keep him there? He is definitely going to get sprayed down by one of them, and one tap God gives it to him. Master looks at one. He's probably going to spot the other, as the rotations are being called in already, and Relic is still hanging around to find Logista, which he will pretty easily. And that's the A side open, and you can see the rotations have come in as fast as Flash himself.
How? At least Paradox finally finds Knight Rider. Imagine if Knight Rider was able to sneak all the way at the bottom of mid, and Paradox had no idea. Imagine if that happened. Fine, maybe nothing would have come out of it in this round, but if that was a buy round, and if these guys were looking to hit B instead of A, that could have been disastrous. Either way, it does seem like an open and shut round. 2 versus 5 retake with only classics, nearly impossible. They'll most likely just be looking to give up their lives and not save anything so that they can have a little bit of money going in the next round. They will have full buy in the next round, mind you. So Godparticles will be having Phantoms and Vandals, whereas Truerippers will continue with their Spectres and hopefully convert the bonus round also in their favor.
Yeah, well, this is a map where the bonus works a little bit better because just because of the fact that Split is such a close quarter map. They take mid, they have small, they have, you know, short range fights. They take B main, they have short range fights. Everywhere they go, except for A, they've got short range fights because A is the only place where they move into A main. They're probably going to have an operator staring at them or a Vandal from the long range that can tap them out. And one tap God has a Vandal himself, so they have a good chance of winning out this bonus and possibly this game as well if they win this. Logista moves out towards mid, being a little bit cheeky. He's got his utility to fade off any sort of vision, but you always got to be careful against Truerippers. You never know what they can do.
Obscuring vision.
That corner being cleared up by the Nanoswarm, and here's Ember eating a lot of pressure, and he's putting down every bit of his utility as he can. What do Truerippers have in store?
Oh, at the moment they come out of the Nebula, there's so many players waiting for them. One up on top, Ember down at the bottom. Shivi drops off at the first time, gets caught mid-air by Paradox, but in the flurry of trades, the defenders are still coming out on top, and now they've upgraded their weapons as well. Well, at least they couldn't convert the bonus round in their favor, so Godparticles still have a fighting chance in this one. They have a say in this battle, but the double digits on Truerippers, it's a bit of a stretch. They need to string rounds together, and they need to make sure that the economy doesn't crumble in the process.
Indeed. Now with this buy that's coming for both of these teams, this is going to translate a little bit more onto the side what we would expect to see as the climax of this match. One tap God's the only one who will not have money because he bought into that Vandal the previous round, but that's okay. He's on par with his team in terms of economy, and that's all they need to stay together. Paradox gonna be the first point of contact. They're moving slowly towards Heaven where there's 3 players waiting for them. A really dirty dogfight gonna be taking place here. Paradox loses the first. pushes away. He knows there's more, and he's gonna get taken down by Shivy. Shivy's down to 28 HP himself, and they need to be careful. Master on the other end of the map finds the side all open to himself, by the way. The B side is completely open. And that's exactly where they're gonna run. But the mid side is being taken control of. They're just moving in towards sewers. But as soon as he hears the sound cue, he can't cut off rotations. Oh, this is gonna be a problem. This is gonna be a problem.
A big one, too.
Last player
Relic
standing.
expects it!
Nope.
Oh my
Says
god, the
Relic.
read. The read is phenomenal. And Shivy with only 28 HP might just die to the turret itself.
It's gonna spot him out any second now. The minute it peeks out. Yep, there it is. He's down to 16. And that's a death sentence. That's a death sentence of itself.
Yeah. Get
And
back.
he's running away. He's going all the way back to save his weapon.
Careful here.
Maybe he can find an op. Is that one lying around?
No,
right?
no, there's no
nobody
op
had an
there.
op in this round, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
He needs to save this weapon because there's no economy on his team. Only 2 players can afford to maybe
Careful
buy
here.
in. And you
That
can
too,
see...
not a full buy.
Yeah. Shivy's already giving instructions to his team. He knows that he's got time, and he's already giving instructions to his team as to what they can do the next round. He was pointing out a couple of regions on the A side where they maybe could, you know, have this sort of a setup that they can execute, considering that Truerippers actually do move in towards A. So that's a good thing being done by him. He's utilizing his time to maybe deduce a plan that they can do in the next round. Let's see if it works out, though.
Inching closer and closer to the end of this game now. Truerippers, they might just have broken the camel's back. With this round win, they successfully have plunged the side of Godparticles into an economic crisis. They now need to either downgrade to light shields if they want to buy either a Phantom or a Vandal, or if they do want a full shield, they have to buy a Spectre. So the superior weaponry now lies with Truerippers. Logista even has a Sheriff, so that's just it. Shivy and Ember with 2 ultimates available. Sure, this could be game-changing, but Truerippers are taking it nice and slow. They don't want the possibility of anyone dying to unorthodox weaponry or maybe some running gun weapons like Spectre. Skargod winning that first duel was extremely important for them. And it's good that he killed One-Tap God, because if One-Tap God even got a single kill, his ultimate would have been ready. He's at 7 points right now. Most likely he will have his showstopper ready in the next round. Master all by himself, trying to challenge Ember in a 1v1 aim duel, and he loses it. Okay. They're just gifting these chances to Godparticles. All these 1v1 duels that have been offered give them a significant advantage, and with just 3 members alive, and especially with Paradox going ahead all by himself, it's unlikely that he's going to win any duel that he takes. He will most likely be walking into a double peak if he decides to venture forward towards B Heaven.
No, actually, there's only 1 player there, and that's Logista, and he's gonna go down. There is no double peak. The other one was down below, and here come out the Seekers and the Flash. They're going to stop them with anything and everything that they can. Truerippers are moving in towards B, and it's the last 20 seconds left on the clock while they do.
You want
Ember
to
is
fight
here,
it?
and the Cosmic Divide comes in. Ember eats a bullet straight to the head, and they're going back. The one thing they did not expect
Who's got this?
is that this one position where the side of Godparticles love to double up is going to be guarded heavily. Number 6 goes up on the board. They're still a long way away, but Godparticles have a chance.
It was such a risky decision too. The barrier put up to make sure nobody from stairs can come in. The Cosmic Divide to make sure the back of the B side and the defender spawn entrance are cut off. They would have been able to plant safely on the B side if it wasn't for Ember, but at the last moment, they thought, all right, we've drawn in the rotations, we've put in enough resources on the B side to sell the fake. A should be clear by now, but surprise, surprise, the moment you jump down the vent room, there's 2 people waiting for you.
Obscuring vision.
Ember facing off a lot of pistols and a couple of weapons. They've actually force bought into this round, Truerippers. They could have chosen to eco, but if they lose this one, that's gonna give out round number 9 as well. Or at least 8 for that matter. Paradox trying to creep in. Dashes away, almost getting a kill onto Skargod, but he's gonna get healed up. Spots out another crosshair, finds Ember, and that's the B side being attacked. One-Tap God! The ultimate connects to the best of its abilities. The old result, which we remember before the nerf, has come back to haunt the side of Godparticles. And Truerippers are looking, staring down the barrel onto match
Player
point.
standing.
And that came in at such an important time too. Paradox was trapped down in the rope room. He would have been dead to rights. There was Shui waiting for him at the top of A heaven. There were 2 people on B heaven, so he can't leave. He was trapped in there and he needed his teammates to save him, and One Tap God comes in as his knight in shining armor. Or rather, should I say, the knight with the shining rocket launcher. What a wonderful ultimate. Paradox does die in the same spot in which he was supposed to die in the first place, but this time the situation's very different.
Match point.
Oh boy, match point now, halfway across the room. Godparticles, 12-6 down. The bye is still there for them, but this could be the very last one. They need to fight every round as if it's the last one. They've taken 1 point out of this series, and that's the bare minimum that they were going to look for, because they've been on a losing streak.
I don't know what kind of a streak this is. Tempted to say streak of bad decisions, but that would be a bit too brutal. Either way, this game does seem to be a lot more equal in terms of fragging. There's no one particular player popping off or one player having a bad day. Almost everyone has a similar amount of frag, so that's one thing. Paradox sneaking past. Does anyone see him? Nobody knows.
Are you kidding me?
Are you serious?
No, Paradox.
He can't go for the knife. Simply
gets- yeah,
because
it's
of the
over.
box. He
It's
can't go
done.
for the knife because the box was in the way, and he can't get
Yeah. You would have hit the
one hit
75
kill.
instead of 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's done pretty much. Shivy, somehow he almost gave a tag. He took down Paradox, but Paradox a little, just a little bit away forward there. That's
Spike
okay though.
planted.
He's
Completely
looking
okay.
for the ace, but he's not gonna get it. Scar God has to be the savior of his team. Gets the one. Needs a little more. Needs a couple more, actually. It's a long and tall order to ask of him, but they have to depend on him. He's got his ultimate as well. Time's ticking by, but One Tap God takes him down. Logista's the last man standing, and Relic is gonna take him down. 13-6. Split has been overtaken, and the side of Truerippers are the winners of this series. 2-1. They go ahead and further on position themselves to qualify for the playoffs.
Really good timing found by Paradox over there.
Honestly, that was
You
just-
have to
I
keep
don't
in
know.
mind that many of the times when he was inside Wentz, he was caught. Like, there was either a double peak waiting for him at the bottom of Wentz, or there was someone waiting for him at the top of A heaven.
Mhm.
And every time he went inside that Went area, he did not find as much success as he was hoping for. This
Yeah.
time he saw everyone and he was able to almost even go for a knife. So I have to, admire his patience to be able to go for the same play again and again, even though you haven't found much success in the previous rounds. Now it finally paid off.
Yeah, let's go to the match highlights and have a look at this final map of today that we've seen between Truerippers and Godparticles, because this was a totally different map from what we expected. The only thing that added on to this was, instead of 13-3, it was 13-6. Just 3 runs added onto that lower end of the tally by Godparticles. I really expect them to take Split just because of the fact that, the Split has been one of their strong maps, as, the player itself individually also. They've had Split as one of their best performing maps, right? And I think I saw that there was a team advantage for the side of Truerippers. Clearly, we could see after that. I think it was the 4 and 5. Yeah, 5 and 4. The scoreline was Truerippers were up by 5, and then they suddenly put up 3 rounds back to back to back. They got the 8 for a half, and then they were just on a roll suddenly. Until that point, I thought Godparticles could actually make a comeback, because the minute they lost a Thrifty right there by the hands of Truerippers, everything went downhill.
And the slope of that hill is such that you can't even put on the brakes when things start to go wrong. So many times, Godparticles in the first half tried to do something unorthodox by changing up their strategies back and forth. They went for double, triple fakes. And many of those times, those triple fakes resulted in them having very little time left, which is something that Truerippers used to the fullest extent to punish them. But going into the second half, I felt like Godparticles had a little grip on the game. At least they were able to make sure that they had the sides, even though Truerippers were taking away mid-control from them almost every time. Unfortunately, they weren't able to convert it into round wins, but that's a completely different story. This whole series has been back and forth. 13-3 in the first map, then 13-3 again the second map, except it was picked up by Godparticles. Finally, 13-6, which could have been a lot closer, to be honest, if some of these decisions did not go in the favor of Truerippers. And most of these rounds boil down to 1v1s, 2v2s, so it was indeed a very, very close game. At the end of this game, let's take a look at what these teams have in their bag in terms of points, in terms of group standings. I'm pretty sure Truerippers must have come up to the third place. Oh, yeah, there you go. 7 points at par with Team Exploit. Godparticles, though, still in the danger zone.
Yeah, they've put up 1 more point, so they have 4, and that's 2 clear of M42. So they still have a chance to maybe make it up further above ROG Academy, but the problem is ROG still have a game in hand. And I think Godparticles are yet to face ROG Academy. I am not sure if that matchup has gone down, but if it still hasn't happened, then Godparticles definitely have a chance to maybe try and get themselves a little above that red zone and maybe, yeah, and I just got word, it's not happened. Godparticles versus ROG Academy is yet to go down the ropes, ladies and gentlemen. And that matchup is going to be a battle of survival. Because whoever wins that is going to have a little bit of an edge to go in, and maybe they can even overtake Team VALOR, which looks likely. And it was still not done, because I think if you consider all things, ROG Academy can still maybe fight for that 4th spot of qualification. I think if they somehow, have an edge over Seoul and Team VALOR's form of things, they can maybe do it. VALOR, they've qualified 2 seasons in a row for the playoffs. This season is one that they would look to do it again, but they've got a lot of competition in this group of death. But hey, today's been done and dusted. Only one matchup today, unfortunately. We're not going to see an 8 p.m. game, but this one was just as good as it could get.
Yeah, it went the distance, truly.
Everything was in this game, and everything that we expect. 13-3 score lines, absolute polar opposites with just 2 names changed, came in, something that we couldn't believe was happening. And then in the third map, it kind of settled down to a little bit more of a competitive basis in the first half, but the second one, thrown away out of the park by Truerippers. And that's the end of it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we got for you today. Thank you for joining us. If you like what we provided as content, the high-octane Valorant matches that we see every day on your screen, go hit that like and subscribe button. The notification bell icon is right next to it. Click on it so every time we go live, you have the notification that we have these matches available and ready for you. Thank you for watching the LG Ultragear present the Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial, apparel partner 65sis, accessories partner Cosmic Byte, and esports partner Aimlab. We hope you enjoyed today, and we're going to see you all tomorrow. Happy gaming, and have a good day.